Good morning, everybody. Hi, and welcome to our webinar. This webinar we just wanted to say, is brought to you by the local Digital Service Squad. The Digital Main Street program is brought to you by the Ontario BIA Association, the Province of Ontario, along with the Toronto Association of BIAs. Here in Simcoe, South Georgian Bay, the program is managed by your South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center and the Grey County by the Business Enterprise Center of Grey County, with additional support from the County of Simcoe, the Town of Collingwood, and the Town of the Blue Mountains. We are grateful for all their support in making this possible. About the Digital Service Squad, if you have not reached out to our squad to learn more about the digital marketing supports available to you through Digital Main Street, you can book a 30-minute consult to get started. The link is on the last page of this presentation. We are excited to be here with you today. Today, our webinar is about building better websites, and it's off to Karen now. Take it away.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Karen, and that was Amy, and Ben is joining us as well. Today, as Amy said, we're building better websites. Essentially, it's essential for your company's success. Like, you have to have a pretty good website to attract your customers. Your website is the first thing potential customers see when researching your business. It showcases your brand, creating brand awareness to prospective customers. It aids in establishing your image by letting the audience know who you are and what you represent, helping you create credibility and build trust as a business. The reliable information you provide your customers helps to set you apart from your competitors. Having a website is just the beginning. Utilizing the following elements will help you create an effective website for both you and your customers. Utilizing the following elements will help you create an effective website for both you and your customers. First of all, you need to have a clear objective. And what I mean by that is whether you're selling products or collecting new leads, you need to define those objectives before you start designing the website. Always keep your website's main goal or purpose front and center. Know your audience. Knowing your audience is a critical aspect of your company and brand success. Your customer or audience is the group of people you need to reach and the most likely to purchase your product or your service. Branding. It's a reflection of your voice, your mission, your image, and what you stand for. Your brand incorporates everything you do to provide an identity for your business while motivating and connecting with your audience. Website functionality. A website's functionality is described by how easy a user can navigate your site, get the information they need, or purchase the product or service that they want. You need to have, these days, you need to have a clean, modern design, basically utilizing a lot of white space, large pictures that go right across the page, blocks of information that's easy to, so simple and clean. The best way to keep your visitors glued to your site is through valuable content, good organization, and attractive design. We need easy to use navigation, keeping navigation simple, intuitive, and consistent on every page. Your website loading time is extremely important. Waiting for a website to load will lose visitors. So your website load time is extremely vital. When adding content such as graphics or photos, make sure that they're optimized for the web. And your web developer should know this. You may not know this as much, of course, but you can do this through Photoshop. responsive design is extremely, extremely, extremely important. It's important to consider building your website with a responsive layout where your website can adjust to different screens, meaning most people today are looking at your website through their mobile device, which is your phone. So it needs to conform and look good on mobile devices actually first over a PC, because most people are using their phones. An SSL certificate is also needed on your website because customers want to know that your website is secure and private. More about that on a slide after. I have another slide about that specifically. We need to have easy to find contact information. It's essential to maintain a dedicated contact page so that potential customers can contact you and find your business. Okay. A footer on each page, I'm going to discuss this a little bit later too, should be another thing we should have on each page, because it allows you to also place your social media links and your menu items down there and your basic contact information. Like adding your phone number, that kind of thing, and social media links on both header and footer is really good idea. And last but not least, we need a clear call to action. A clear call to action is a key element on a web page. It's acting as a signpost that lets the user know what to do next. The call now button would be like something like call now, or shop, or download free PDF, that kind of thing. That would be your call to action. As far as website content is concerned, content is king. This phrase is sufficient to explain itself. That's why it's the key to the success of any website. You need to provide useful content to visitors that include targeted keywords that users usually search in Google or Bing or something like that. Keeping content relevant to your business helps answer your audience's questions, build trust, develop relationships, improving conversions, and generate leads. Keeping your content fresh and up to date will help customers and search engines find you and increase your SEO ranking. Now, specifically, we're going to talk about above the fold. This term comes from the newspaper days, where the major headline was above the fold on a newspaper when it was folded in half. So in web speak, it's the part of the web page before you start scrolling down the page. It's the first thing that customers see. So in about 6 seconds, you need to capture their attention. Keeping content relevant to your business helps answer your audience's questions, build trust, develop relationships, improve conversions, and generate leads. Here we go again. I'm sorry. Anyways, above the fold, users should know precisely what the purpose of your site is and how it helps them and the benefits that you provide. What makes your product or service attractive to customers? It's the value your company or products or services provide, and it's how your services will benefit them. For example, okay, now I think I've got, oh, right. And this is where your call to action comes in. You need to let your audience know what to do next, and that's got to be above the fold as well.
Can I just add, oh, are you?
Oh, absolutely, you can.
Yeah, can I just add something too? So I wanted to mention, I did a Tuesday tip on our social media this week about a tool called Microsoft Clarity, which is essentially a heat map, which will help you actually see how far people on average are scrolling down your website. So it's a great, it is a great tool to learn about the benefits of everything Karen's saying here about keeping the most pertinent information above the fold, because when you start putting it further down the screen, fewer and fewer people are going to see it. And by the way, just also to mention real quick is that the Q&A box here is open. If you have questions as we go, drop them in there and we'll get to them. Sorry, go ahead, Karen.
That's okay. I've just got a couple of examples here of above the fold. Here's an older one for HubSpot. Obviously, it needs to include your logo, which is the DNA of your business. And then there's your simple navigation up here. The headline is the all systems grow. This is really cool. I really like this. It's a clear company statement and missions. All systems grow. So you kind of have an idea of where we're going with this. Software, this is your subheading. It's short description of what you do or what you offer. Software to fuel your growth and build deeper relationships from first hello to happy customer and beyond. I think that's basically a great statement or subheading to let you know what is happening on this website. Then we have a main call to action button. Get HubSpot free. There you go. Another one that I thought, this is to do with Shopify. Start selling today. Shopify gives you everything you need to build a successful online business. Your call to action button, start your free trial. What more succinct can you get than that? So those are just a couple of examples I thought I would show you. Now below the fold, this is the kind of information that you would place below the fold, supports or reinforces above the fold content. It's what you offer, the benefits you provide, the services and the features that your company provides. Why would anybody come to you? What are the benefits of using you over someone else? How are you going to solve their problem, the user's problem, and what they're going to get out of using this service or buying this product on the page? An example here. Here's some key features of this particular website. It's web design, development, photography. These are the things that they offer, the key features, marketing, consulting, and support 24/7. Do these offers, services, features, do they answer customer needs? Do they solve the customer's problem? And will they resonate with your audience? Meaning, like, is it something that the user needs and wants? The next thing below that are your trust indicators. Those would be customer success stories, testimonials, professional accreditation, media quotes, that kind of thing. It just reinforces and boosts credibility towards your company and builds trustworthiness. So that's why people put those on, and they're sort of next after benefits and that kind of thing. As mentioned before, a footer should be on every page, and this is where you can house your logo again, some contact information, like maybe your phone number, your address, even a map. I've seen people put the map in there again. Social media links, your menu items or navigation, again, your copyright notice, privacy policy link, terms of service link, and your newsletter sign up if you have a newsletter. Those are the things that should go on, and that should go on every page, so that when people are scrolling through your website, it is yet another place. They don't have to go back up to the top of the page. All the information is again posted on the bottom, in the bottom, for easy access. A note about dedicated pages. Some people are still doing one-page websites, but I don't find them as popular anymore. Really, you should design a website using separate pages. That's what I mean by dedicated pages. Have a home page, an about page, services, a shop, a blog, a content. And from those, you can branch off to further menu items if you need more pages attached. It keeps the website sort of clean and simple and not too overwhelming, to keep the navigation or the dedicated pages to sort of a minimum. Dedicated pages are also better for SEO because each page can be optimized for different keywords to do with your business. Okay, now we get into the sort of the content. Well, when it comes to photos and videos, we always suggest to use lots of photos and videos because they add interest and engage users better. Like, people are more attracted to photos and videos above text. You know, a lot of people don't want to read text. It's, you know, and they get bored and that kind of thing. It helps to give an overview of your business and tell your story. It shows company personality, and it's yeah, I guess like you need good quality photos as well, not terrible photos. They can't be out of resolution or low resolution. They need to be really good, especially if you're selling products. I can't stress that enough because, yeah, people want to purchase a product that's not low resolution. They can't see what the product is. They can't see, you know, that's why a lot of, let's say, companies that sell clothing, they have different pictures of the same item, maybe closer to show the fabric. And like I've even seen things showing all the details of a particular garment, which is really interesting. But it gives the user an idea of what that garment looks like, right? This is again where we need to optimize the images again through, well, I use Photoshop, but there are other online programs that can help you optimize images that will decrease your load time and that kind of thing, because it optimizes it specifically for the web. So it's still a really good resolution photograph, but Photoshop or those kind of software programs will optimize it and make the load time of that picture a lot lower, but still retain the look of the picture.
Can I add something to that, Karen?
Absolutely.
Yeah, one thing. So when it comes to photos, one thing I've noticed a lot of, or a common misconception, let's say, is that people don't realize that when they take cell phone photos, so, you know, a lot of times if you're taking pictures with your cell phone for of products for your shop, people don't realize those are actually quite high in resolution. Like, they are large files. especially because most people will have that setting, their phone camera set to the highest resolution possible. And, a lot of people think it's just a cell phone photo. It's going to be small. They're actually quite large. Like we're talking 12, plus megapixels.
Yeah.
And so yeah, to Karen's point, that those should also be resized and optimized for web, because if you're just uploading cell phone images, they are going to be quite large. That's all I got to say.
We'll talk more about that. Okay, we are having, I don't know when it is, but we're having another webinar on photos and videos, just to let you know about that.
Right. Yes. Yeah, we're doing photos, videos. We have another one on SEO specifically. So that's why we're going to not get too in depth on that topic here today, as well as e-commerce. We're going to have a whole other webinar on e-commerce. So yeah, if those are of interest to you as well, stay tuned for those webinars.
And I didn't really mention videos, but specifically either, but videos are awesome too, because they could convey huge amounts of information for potential clients. Videos are exciting because they do have a tendency to keep people on the website longer and engage them again. Customers like videos because they are easy to digest and they're entertaining and engaging, and marketers like them because they can give a potentially huge return on investment through many channels, because you can post them to like Facebook and YouTube and that kind of thing.
Oh, there's also a question here too, regarding the optimization of photos. So is Photoshop the only way to optimize? So no, there are, as Karen mentioned, there are other programs. So one of the best ways, if you have a WordPress website, there are plugins, free plugins that you can install, quite a few of them, different options there that will both shrink the resolution, but then compress the file size to just really get them better sized for faster load times. There are other programs, other websites that will do the same. So if you don't have a WordPress website, there's websites where you can just upload photos and then they'll give you a download link for the optimized photo. Also, Canva could be an option too. If you have a pro account, there is some the ability to compress image files, image sizes in that, and resize the resolution. So that one is pretty great too, because we definitely know a lot of people who use Canva and who can access that.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, blogging is another one that we kind of advise people to start. It's really very important part of content marketing. If done consistently, it's one of the most effective ways to build brand awareness while providing relevant and useful content to your target audience. A blog will help position you and your company as an industry expert. It's an inexpensive way for small businesses to drive traffic to their site, enhance inbound marketing efforts, and attract more prospective customers. It also facilitates SEO practices. Each time you publish a post, you're giving Google and other search engines more content to index, and more content means your website will most likely show up for more searches. Cross-promoting your content. Oh, sorry. Cross-promoting your content. Cross-promoting content from a blog to your social media sites can help drive traffic to your blog because it enables sharing. You can share, retweet, repin content on on these platforms. This means that followers can also share your content with friends and family, which helps expose your brand to more people. Newsletter sign up, which most people have. A newsletter can provide great value beyond sales by informing your customers with interesting content that resonates with them. The kind of content that you can like place on your newsletter would be like to educate about new products that are coming up. You can highlight employees, share success stories, announce upcoming events, and offer coupons or specials to track readership. Offering a lead generator at the very beginning, or which is like a discount or free information like a PDF to visitors who sign up for your newsletter, will help you generate leads at the very beginning.
There's an interesting question in the chat right now, and I wanted to throw it over to everybody. How do you think websites and blogs will change with GPT? Will the visuals be more important?
This is a hot topic. Let me
Oh,
tell you.
it is a hot topic.
Hot topic.
I think we may have to do a webinar.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. I mean, yeah, we could get into it, but yeah, you know, we've actually been having this discussion internally, and I don't necessarily know the answer, right? But what I think would be great, I would love to actually do a panel, full-on discussion, webinar discussion about that, bring in some other content marketing experts to just get a really well-rounded opinion on that. So yeah, basically, so the short answer I'd say for now is like, it can help. So ChatGPT, it can help, along with other AI language models that are out there. So Jasper is another one. And I know they can help because I'm using some of them for myself. But what it means long term, not sure. The only time will tell. And but definitely stay tuned. I think it is a fantastic topic for a webinar or like a panel discussion. So yeah, keep an eye out for our events calendar. I think that's definitely going to be one that we add to the mix in the next couple months or weeks.
Absolutely agree, Ben. Bravo. Isn't that, yeah. We were just talking about that. I've been experimenting myself. So even with the other ones, that text to imaging, oh my goodness. Now there's another one. Crazy stuff. Anyways, on to web stuff. Okay. I wanted to make mention of, we're having a webinar on e-commerce specifically, but e-commerce is, of course, selling your products online. That's if you're considering selling them online, like it's just, I just want to mention it. If you have an existing site, like WordPress, like for example, it would be a plugin like WooCommerce that you would use. Or I think Wix has a sort of dedicated e-commerce sort of plugin, I believe, that kind of thing. Or the other alternative is to transfer your website to an e-commerce specific platform like Shopify. Make sure again you design it so it's aesthetically pleasing and easy to follow. You want to give customers a fantastic browsing experience. So you need to have fabulous photos product photos, again, key. Clear titles and headings so people know what that product is, and concise descriptions about the product so that people don't have to like fumble around and look all over the place. You also need an easy purchasing model, offering multiple payment methods. Just keep thinking about user. That's the key on that. And we're not going to talk too much about that because that's a whole new kettle of fish. So we have, like I said, we have a webinar coming up on e-commerce. Okay. Another thing that you must have, and I think most companies do. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, quick question,
Yes.
just about e-commerce there. Kelly says, you know, she's not too familiar with Shopify. She has her own website, but is asking if Shopify would help handle the purchase aspect. That's always been an issue for her. So yes, the answer is yes. I mean, lots of other e-commerce platforms, like that is the benefit of going with those systems. Like they'll handle all of the credit card processing and that the transaction that is the difficult part, the challenging part. But they, you know, handle all of that for you, and that's why they do tend to be more of a premium website system, but can be worth it, you know, for that added benefits. Right.
Thanks, Ben. Okay. Everyone should have an SSL certificate. That's the difference between HTTP versus HTTPS on the URL in the top. HTTPS means that someone does have an SSL certificate. It provides security for online communication, authenticates a website's identity, and what it does, it enables an encrypted connection or link between the server and the browser. It prevents the reading or modifying of the information that's being transferred between the two systems, in a nutshell. What happened to me the other week, and it could have been happening for 2 weeks, but I went on my website and it told me that it was not secure. And I was like, oh no, because it's almost like this big sign that comes up. But I talked to my service provider, and it used to be that I was paying for that altogether with my hosting and everything, which most times happens. But because I had my website from many, many years ago, that changed. Anyways, so I just called my service provider up, and he put back my SSL certificate. And it turns out that I usually pay about $60 a year for that. So it's not a big chunk, but it is something that just to keep in mind that you need to have that, especially if you're selling online, because people are giving their personal information across there. Okay, these are a couple of things that, well, they're not essential, but I guess they kind of make things a little easier for the user. A call now button. In other words, it doesn't even have to be a button. Actually, it's a link on your website to your phone number. And what will happen is if they click that link or button, their mobile device will automatically enter your phone number on their mobile device and call. And like I said, it can be displayed in many ways, just as a link, you know, with a line underneath, or not even that, it's highlighted, or a button. That just makes it easier for people to get a hold of you without going to your contact page and writing down your phone number, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's just, You don't have to have that, but I suggest that's probably a good idea, especially now that everybody's on mobile devices and not necessarily on a PC. The other little thing, our chat box. Those are the little things you see usually on the right-hand corner of a website. They could be like a little, a little button or something. They're chat bots or virtual assistants, if you want to call it. They can answer about 80% of routine questions. They're powered by pre-programmed responses, utilizing artificial intelligence or pre-programming, or both. Yeah, they can address thousands of queries at once, like faster than humans. We can only do one question at a time. Although we try to answer many, that doesn't always work. And it's something that's available 24/7. Okay, so it's just another thought. And I think that is it.
Oh, I was just about to say too. Yeah. So for chatbots, I did another Instagram post recently, shared one called Tideo.
Yes.
That I like. Actually, so Tideo, it's not just AI like that. Actually, I think the AI part is more premium and does require some setup, right? Like, AI is only as smart as we make it, as smart as we can program it. So you do have to sort of input those frequently asked questions and how those responses should come across. But even as a direct chat to you, the website owner, it can be still useful, right? So it's still a manual process, but it's instant, right? It'll I have one on a website that's set up to send a notification right to my phone, almost like a text message. So then I get that and I respond to it as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's not always just about the AI solution. There's some manual options there too, but it's really important to have that like direct line of communication, because as I mentioned in that Tuesday tip, when people see an email form on your website, the general consensus is like, they're not going to get back to me for, a couple days or maybe ever. Like, I think a lot of people have had bad experiences where they've filled out an email form on a website, never heard anything back. So, we gotta break that expectation and give people a means of instant communication through either a chatbot or a call now button.
In a nutshell, it's never perfect.
Right.
We strive.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Karen. And then, so there's, we do have some time for questions. Feel free to drop those in the chat or the Q&A, and we can answer those. There was, so number one, there was a lot of discussion around AI, which, like, again, we're really gonna, now I'm motivated to put that panel discussion together, because it's such a hot topic. And I also wanted to point out that so a lot of this stuff that we talked about here in terms of those best practices for your website, it all comes from, or it all is incorporated as well into our digital audit. So this is a process where basically, through the booking link that we put in the chat, you can request a digital audit from the Digital Service Squad, and we will put together a report based on all of these best practices and, provide an action item list of things to work towards. So, we don't necessarily dive into the back end or anything like that, but just using it as a user, as your users would be browsing your website, we can really get a good sense of, what are some of the things that are missing? What are some of the things that could be improved? Especially when it comes to content navigation and these types of things. It's pretty apparent pretty quickly, and doesn't always have to be a huge overhaul. It can be some quick fixes, some slight adjustments to make these improvements that Karen mentioned, so that your website is just that much more effective and user friendly.
Did we put in the book a consultation link in the, okay. And did we also put the one in for the webinars that are coming, the calendar of events?
No, I didn't do that. I can do that right now.
Okay, that'd be great, because yeah, we have a lot of webinars coming up on all kinds of things that you might be interested in. So if you want to look at the calendar at the South Georgian Bay Enterprise Center of Collingwood's website on the events page, I believe it is.
Yeah. And so Made in Gray, if you're
Made in Gray as well, sorry.
Yeah, they've got all their events and more, or excuse me, all of our events and more on that website as well. And you can find them on Facebook too. So we're loading them all up into Facebook events. So, but either way, yeah, I'd say join the mailing lists at enterprisecenter.ca if you're in the South Georgian Bay area, or at madeingray.ca, the business centers page there. Join those mailing lists, because that's where you'll get the updates about the upcoming webinars, and especially about our AI panel that I'm so motivated to put together.
Any more questions, Amy? Was there anything else? No?
I actually, so one last question to leave people with, something that we talked about yesterday is the benefits of designing a mobile first, or designing a website with a mobile first mentality. What would you say about that?
Okay. Well, when I design a website myself, I do design it for the PC, but I know that I cannot leave it like that. It has to be responsive. So, and mostly responsive for a mobile device, because I don't know how many, I'm just going to say probably 80% of people just use the mobile device to order products, to find information about services, et cetera, et cetera. They're using the mobile device. So if you design your website through Wix or any of those programs yourself, it's essential to make sure the design conforms to the mobile device. You may have to, what I've done in the past is I've had to change the size of text just for the mobile device, change the size of pictures, center type possibly, as opposed to flushing it, just all kinds of things. But type, I think, is the one that really you have to be aware of, because sometimes it's way too small on the mobile device compared to a PC, let's just say. That's just an example, but that's very important.
Sweet. Yeah, that's awesome. Because I think, yeah, I mean, I'd say to anyone, if you are questioning the mobile usage, I mean, your analytics is going to give you that exact sense of how much of your audience is using your website on a mobile device, and whether or not that should be of more consideration if you're looking to like redesign or make some adjustments, definitely, you know, yeah, have a look at your analytics and see exactly who's on mobile, who's on PC. I think it depends on like your audience a lot. It depends on your industry. But yeah, certainly there's a huge, there's continues to be just a massive increase in mobile traffic.
And Google Analytics webinars next week, I think. Yeah, next Wednesday.
Yeah, Google Analytics, right, next Wednesday. And we just put the link to the booking calendar or the calendar of events in the chat there. And so, okay, one last question. Marion is asking, I struggle with conversion. Is there a platform that adjusts it automatically? I think the short answer is no.
I think so.
So definitely not automatically, but I mean, yeah, that's the main struggle for everyone, right? Is like converting. How do you sell more? And that's the age-old question, the golden question. And I mean, certainly different platforms will offer different tools that will make it easier, more effective. A lot of the tips that Karen has given today, I think are sort of designed to do that as well, right? By just having more clear navigation, you know, clear communication and a call to action that's very direct. These things are all going to work together to increase your conversion, hopefully. So, yeah, unfortunately, nothing automatic so far, but a lot of these tools and things might help. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to connect with your digital service squad. We'd love to help you out even more. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.